I want to thank a lot of my recurring audience who have been watching my videos. And in turn, I thought it's time to introduce a little bit more about my background and who I am, and kind of why I make the videos I make. So, I am Joseph Ramirez, and I live in Southern California, and I am the son of a Guatemalan refugee. This is why I make a lot of videos on Latin America, about Honduras and the rest of Central America and South America and so forth. Is my father, Julio Ramirez, was a refugee from Guatemala who came to the United States in the 1970s, in 1974. At the time, Guatemala was going through a horrendous civil war from 1960 to 1996, where the Guatemalan military dictatorship and the Guatemalan people and insurgent groups were fighting each other, and it dragged on and on. And about 200,000 Guatemalan people, and estimated, were killed in the civil war, and over 1 million Guatemalans fled Guatemala in those 36 years. My dad and his family were some of those Guatemalans who came to the United States. So, as I grew older, I got to learn more about my family history and the history of Guatemala. And then I learned more about the Guatemalan Civil War, the causes of it, and then learning a lot more about the role of the U.S. government in Central America, the role it played in Guatemala, and then getting to learn more about the U.S. role in the rest of Central America and the hemisphere. And I am currently 30 years old, so the last decade especially, I really invested a lot of time studying more about the negative role of U.S. foreign policy and intervention throughout Latin America. And then another side of me is I am a Christian, and I go to a great church in the South Bay, California, which is why I have also made many videos related to Christianity and getting to interview different people from my church on some of their mission trip stories and their testimony stories, and published it on my channel on YouTube. And also have gone to talk about unknown martyrs like Michael Jerome Cypher, who I made a video on in the past. The reason I also started talking about a lot of these subjects is because in the United States there is not enough English language information about a lot of what the U.S. has done in Latin America. There is some of it, but in specific cases like Honduras and the U.S. military base there is plenty of Spanish language information on these things, but not English language. So American audiences would not hear a lot of this information if it not for channels such as mine, who are discussing these things. And Americans in particular need to be aware of what their government is doing in other countries, especially when it relates to migration from Central America. When Americans see in the news lots of Hondurans coming to the United States, or lots of Haitians coming to the United States, the U.S. Americans are not aware of what the U.S. government has been doing in Haiti all along, or what the U.S. government has been doing in Honduras for a very long time. So once again, I am very appreciative of a lot of my audience, especially those from Central America, in particular many Hondurans who have been watching my videos. Gracias, Hondureños. Gracias para ver mis videos. And I'll share a little bit more about me. I have obviously lots of different family members who are from Guatemala who live in the United States, and some who still live in Guatemala, and I do keep in contact with them. I am one of 8 children. My father had 8 children altogether, but not with the same woman. And I am the fourth child out of those 8 kids. My oldest half sister was born in 1972, and my youngest half sister was born in 2012, which is pretty interesting. I really appreciated getting to finally share more about my background and who I am with you, my YouTube audience, and looking forward to making more videos.